Hey kids, welcome everybody. Glad you're with us. Hey Pudding, good to see you out there. We'll get you your fanfare here forthwith. I think all it's going to take is somebody to come right out and say something in the chat room, something to the effect of, hey, there it comes, look out. Okay. All right, so today we're going to work on improving the in-game UI, Instapudding. There are two things I want to do. They're both kind of relatively simple, but they're going to make a big difference in terms of gameplay. One of the things I want to do is when it's somebody's turn in battle, and their cards aren't up, I want to pop their cards up. So I want to do that. Just walked in and walked out. She was singing on the way in and out. I was like, oh, it's going to be a Disney show.
No, I was singing Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
Got a wife and kids in Baltimore, Jack.
Okay.
I went out for a ride and I never came back.
Okay, that's not allowed now that you're married to me, though. You've got to stay.
I have to leave my wife.
You got to stay. Oh, and I also want, there's something else that happens is when we're playing the game, the Dungeon Master sets a threshold. And often I'm working with the Dungeon Master, so I've got a stream deck that does the Dungeon Master as a stream deck. Let me show you what it looks like. So I might be, somebody might say, hey, I want to do a saving throw. So I might go in and might be Lady. So I'll click on Lady, then I'll click on her saves, and then I'll click on this button. And while I'm doing this, Lady will be explaining what she wants to do the saving throw for. And then simultaneously, on another page of the stream deck, the Dungeon Master will be punching in a number and then hitting one of these three buttons. When one of these buttons is pressed, I want there to be a visual clue. And I think I want to put it up near the... I was going to put it near the Dungeon Master. I'm not sure if I want it there anymore, though. I'm not sure. But I want there to be a visual clue when this happens so that I can see it, because otherwise we have to wait for somebody to stop talking. And if I just want to know it's been set so I can roll. That's what I want. I want a visual cue somewhere on the screen. So that's what I'm looking for. Something like that. So those are the two things I want to do today. And I've got a couple other, issues I want to go after, look after. There might be some bugs, that sort of thing. Look at those things. So that's kind of what we're looking at doing. I think first thing we do is let's work on the cards appearing. When it's your turn. So somewhere in here we've got a next turn, I think. So next turn command, and that executes Dungeon Master next turn. Okay, cool. This goes in and calls game.nextTurn. I just had a great idea for Twitch. It's a really great idea. Twitch should allow streamers to stream a music channel separately from everything else, if they choose to. And then also allow viewers to listen to the music channel and control the music volume independently of the main volume. That would also be awesome because it would allow us to create clips, cut together clips without the music jumping, and instead maybe lay down music afterwards after the clip's been created. That sort of thing. Interesting kind of idea. Okay, so we want to do something here. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do add block delimiters, and it's occurred to me I actually have a shortcut for this, Control-0, I think. Yeah, that's what I added for that. Okay, and then I want to do something like we need to show the cards, but we don't know whose turn it is yet, though. For whoever the person that is initiative index, 0, we advance the round. How are we determining the active turn player here? At some point we must be consulting this and returning like a creature. Here we go. Get active turn creature. It's interesting, I'm not ever asking for this as a player. It's always an in-game creature. There it is. Game active player changed. Actually, this is, I think, where I want to be. So I'm going to just call game.nextTurn as we were doing before, but down here in the handler, nicely positioned right underneath it, here's where we want to do something. Now, I got some UI somewhere in here that like shows the card. Show cards. Nope, that's not the one I want. Look at the command from the Stream Deck. What button is this? Toggle hand visibility, that's what I'm looking for. Something along those lines should get me close. I think I need a new command. Going into card command. Yeah, so I think I need a new card command type here. So we're going to say show hand. Show hands. Show hand. Like that. And then we're going to do that. And jump in here. Simply just this. I think it's just that. I'm going to make a show hand if it. Into the ape. Welcome, Coding Gorilla. Show hand if hidden. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, there we go. Show hand if hidden, and then we're going to say, we're going to do this. If not is shown, then we're going to call show hand. Dot creature ID. Like that. All right, show hand if hidden. Let's go back out. Do that. Let's declare this. Got a cool sounding bird. Holy cow, right outside my window. And it left as soon as I looked at it. All right. We need to worry about anything else? I don't think we do. We're going to say card command type. And we're going to pass that in there. What's card ID doing? Just needed for reveal secret card. Okay, cool. So card command type, and creature ID. That's where we need to send. So now we drill out to here. And I think we're going to say card manager, card hand manager dot. Oh wait, is it here? It's here. It's card command and card command type dot show hand. The creature ID is going to be character. Actually, it looks like I'm setting the value I want to use in right here. Doesn't matter if it's an in-game creature or character, this active turn creature ID gets set. So I'm going to try using that. And I think that's all I need to do. Maybe I'll throw it out at the end of all these other update calls here. I'll do it like that. And maybe I'm going to create my own method on there, so it's got a better name. We're going to say show cards for active player. So one other thing that's occurring to me is that while we're playing the game, when it's a player's turn, an NPC player's turn, here, let's bring some NPCs out on the, like this. When it's a player's turn, we might also automatically select them when it becomes their turn. This selection mechanism I'm running using the Stream Deck buttons, just pushing these two buttons down here. Those. But I'm thinking we might move that and change that as well, so that when we go into the cards, we hit this button, or for that matter, if we go into conditions, they'll already be selected. I think this is actually a really good idea. So let's put that on our list of things to do as well. Select. I might do this right now. Select the player whose active turn it is. Select the NPC at least. So I'm going to do that. If it's in this space right here, if it's in this block, if it's an in-game creature, that means it's an NPC or a monster up at the top. So if that's the case, select the, I'll just say this right now, active player. Like that. Select the active NPC. And my the selection mechanism, I totally have no recollection of what's going on with here, with that. I don't think that's it. I think the fastest way in is going to be to find it through the Stream Deck. So you've got commands like select in-game creature. I think it's this plus a number is what I think it is. There we go. get by index. That's looking for, that's going to be a positive index, but it's negative numbers elsewhere. So we're going to say hold on, let's get back there again. Select in-game creature. That's right here. Okay. Diablo, OJ 2020 or Ojo 2020, following. Thanks for that follow, Diablo. Okay, so it's going to go like this. We're going to grab the active creature ID, and I'm going to pass a negative number in there. And I think that's going to work like that. No, wait, yeah, because select the active in-game creature is looking for a positive target number. Get by index. Pretty sure that's all going to work. Okay, so let's take our main app right here that's already running, close it down. Let's try and run. We're going to look for the two different changes here. One is where the cards pop up automatically when it's your turn, and two is that the active NPC is selected. So the selection, this UI, well, the UI is not working anymore because I put it down, but that little blue glow around Shanti up there, that follows as the turn changes up in this space here. Okay, let's run it. Got to think about UI. I want to do something new. I'm like totally like, I know I've got lots of stuff I could reuse. I'm just going to go out here to elements.envato.com while we're waiting for that to start up. And still loading? Okay. Search for stock video. Build something with particular too, with particles. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I just want to say like something cool, particles, you know. Alpha channel, doesn't necessarily need to be lubed. Gold particles, that's really small. Something isolated, it's got some cool stuff, but it's just taking too much. I just want it to be a much smaller little bit. Cool. Particle magic. No. This is all over the top. Live Coder team brought me here. Wolfitox. Wolfitox. Welcome. Welcome. We're doing essentially Dungeons and Dragons special effects using C# and Typescript is what we're doing. Let's go ahead and test what we just already built here, though. First thing I guess is let's bring some characters on screen.
Sinister 7, where are you? We need your help. Oh, that barrage.
7's here.
Here, right now.
That's my air guitar skills right there. All right, let's bring up one more character there. We've got some characters up here. And there are a bunch of us across the bottom as well. I just hit all of our name tags so they wouldn't obscure, but there's all of us across the bottom. When we enter battle, it looks like this. All right, so there we're in battle. We've rolled the dice. There's our initiative right there. Let's get the Coder's music off. We've got the Dungeons and Dragons music on. So everything you're seeing is all the stuff we built for the overlay for the Dungeons and Dragons show. If you like Dungeons and Dragons, want to watch it, last time we did a show, it was pretty good. I think we're getting, the quality's improving, show's moving faster, that sort of thing. In fact, speaking of moving faster, that's kind of what we're trying to do here on the Code Rush show, in addition to dogfooding Code Rush every day, is we're trying to create a really good UI for both watching and playing Dungeons and Dragons live with a bunch of people. So if I hit the next turn button, it's going to go to Fred, and then it might skip to some of the folks in the front.
Noctan!
Noctan comes next. Now, there's a bug I just heard there. It's playing the sound twice for some reason. Noctan's got double sound when it's his turn. So we need to look at that. Now that it's his turn, though, it looks like the selection has moved to him, just like we wrote. The change we just made looks like it's working because nobody else is selected.
Dude! Check out the chat room!
I'm quiet relative to... Oh, geez, I always have to remember, to turn up my volume. Thanks, Rory. Thank you. There's my volume right up there. Always got to do it. After a show, so when we do the Dragon Humper show, to put a link out up there for you there, twitch.tv/DragonHumpers. When we do that show, I have to turn my volume way down. But when I do this show, I'm just chill. I'm not screaming at anybody. Did that work, Pudding? I didn't hear it come up. Did it? Let me try it out myself. Nope, didn't work. All right. So when those don't work, this is the one we have to restart, as I recall. That's the one. Let's try it. Kill it. And restart it. Pack it. And that, I heard something. Gorilla Pudding is the new pudding. I just invented it. Nice. Nice. Lazy's playing, says, yo, Brian Cranston. Did we get a raid and I didn't see it, or just a bunch of people came over? I didn't notice a raid. Welcome everybody who's just joining us. It's me, Brian Cranston, your host. What's this? Magic Particle Elements Pack. There's potential there, and I've already got something kind of close to this too that we could use. I'm talking about another effect I want to add. All right, let's go test to see if Noctan is in fact selected. If I go into the selection buttons on my Stream Deck and I move next or previous, let's see what happens. I'll hit previous. Sweet. So Noctan was in fact selected. That means if he had any cards, and I went in and hit the cards button, or even better test is going into conditions and say give him blinded and everything else, you'll see he just gets them because it's his turn. That's awesome UI because now we don't have to select whoever active is active. So that's kind of cool. Let's change to the next turn. So hit the next turn button right here. Goes back over to Little Cutie's turn.
Shanti!
Shanti's turn is next. Cool.
Where are you? We need your help!
Oh, we get two of those? It's helpful to close those character info.
Here, I am.
Some double fanfares here in the morning. I don't think you want any. It's a little stinky. Yeah, no Gorilla Pudding. Anyway, I can come in here and hit these buttons right here, and they all work for Shanti now. Sweet. I love it. It's awesome. And we can change who's selected if we want to select somebody else, but whoever that's going to be is going to change once it's somebody else's turn up there. So that looking like it's working really, really well. Okay. Jorak. All right, now let's give people some cards. Really? Log in? You don't think I'm here? Okay. Now, cards we can give to players start around in this space right here. So let's give some to Daniel. So play card. Play card. Play card. So now Daniel's got some cards right in there. So I'm just giving a bunch of people a bunch of cards. That's what I'm doing. So much fun. Coding Gorilla Kids. All right, all of those were queued up. We released all of those. All right, just throwing cards out to everybody so we can test to make sure that the cards come up when it's their turn. Let's go give a bunch to Jorak. It's already Jorak's turn, but we'll do that. Boom, 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 boom. And if you're not sure what this is, these are cards that people can get from Streamloot. So this is a way of participating in the Dragon Humpers Dungeons & Dragons game while we're playing. Not all of these are secret. Let's go to Daniel again. Okay, Daniel, and one more Daniel. All right, so now we've given a whole bunch of cards to a whole bunch of people. It's occurred to me, actually, we don't really want to bring the cards up unless they don't have, we only want to bring cards up if they don't have it, if they have a card that's not secret. So I kind of want to change the code a little bit already, and we haven't even tested it yet. But show cards for active player. This is our own special command, show hand here. Show hand if hidden. What I really want to do is change the logic here. So let's go ahead and we'll advance the turn. And we're here in the code. Right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let it run right now and then we'll see the difference in a second. So Fred, I guess, has no cards. Is that true? Fred does not have any cards, apparently. Oh, no, wait, he does. It didn't work. Set another breakpoint here. Let's do Nick's turn. Okay. Really? Oh, we're going to get an exception. Let's make sure we don't contain that key. Or let's make sure we contain it, rather, before we get down to that next line of code down here. So again, here we go. Okay, it doesn't contain it. I'm more interested down here. So nobody's got any cards there. I think that was meaning. I think that either show hand has a bug in it or is shown wasn't cleared when it was dropped back down. Because right now is shown should be false for everyone. All right, let's do next turn. Okay, here we go. Is shown as false. And so now we're going to say show hand. Cards don't come up. So well, let's figure that out. Why? Is shown update last interaction. I think I need to do a call. Let's call in card command. No? Why isn't it working? Because now if I go to Little Cutie and I hit her cards button, it apparently goes down. We didn't see the animation. Hit it again, it comes back up. Somewhere there's animation that is being played that we're not doing here. Status change. I bet that triggers the animation right there. All right, let's hit next turn.
Shanti!
We're going to hit apparently nothing there at next turn. All right, here we go. Status change. Let's try that. There we go. So my cards are now up. But they're all secret cards. Like, who cares? Next turn, there we go. Next turn, good. Secret cards can't be played. Only the cards you can see. So it only makes sense to show them if you have any cards available to play. The reason why is because I want to alert the player that they've got something they can play when it's their turn. Cool. We just need one little bit more of piece of logic here, which is, do we have, if we're not shown, and creature ID contains at least one playable card. Let's go declare that. Jump down here. Oops. Okay. Jump down here. All right. Let's go through the cards. I think these have a property on them called secret. I think, let's see. I think that means if I have any that are not secret. Let's see what happens when we run it here. Okay, so now we're going to say next turn. Put it off, test it out.
Jorok.
All right, Jorok has only secret cards. I think there's only one player. I think it's Sandra over here.
Noctan.
Who's got non-secret cards.
Shanti.
There you go. Daniel. Maybe it's just Daniel. Okay, cool. So then if I come in here, here's a non-secret card. Let's give one to me. Let's give one to Lady. Let's give one to Fred. Let's give one to Shanti. And then let's keep going. Good. Now we see that.
Jorok.
Jorok's still nothing.
Noctan. Shanti.
There's Shanti. Good. Good. That's what I want. So now if there's something they can play, we see it. Now that Daniel is also selected, I should be able to just come in here, go to this page right here, and then use these buttons down here to change the selection if I want to, or just go right into cards and play those cards. Right, select a card that I want to play. Let's focus on this a second. Let's come back out. Come back out. Next turn.
Jorok. Noctan. Shanti.
Shanti's got two sounds too that are happening. Here we go. Now I want to go here, and then here, and then here. There we go. Good. Nice. Now I can play the cards. Okay. All right, I'm going to call that done. That was, that looks good. All right, next is that kind of magical kind of thing I want to do. I want it to be kind of subtle because it's only for something for me to be able to see, but it's basically a communication between, let's hide all of those guys up at the top. Let's hide that. It's communication between when the Dungeon Master does something, like sets a threshold. I want to know when that's occurred. And I think I want a visual cue to be actually occurring in two different places on the screen. I want one, it to be happening behind the scroll that we just hid up there, just a little bit off to the side of it, behind it. And then the other place I want it to occur is behind the Dungeon Master. So if my eyes are on the Dungeon Master, or if my eyes are up here, which is near where my camera is, right there, I want to have just a little subtle visual magical effect appear whenever the Dungeon Master sets a threshold. The reason why is because I want to be able to hit the roll dice button as soon as he's ready to go. It's a signal that the Dungeon Master is ready for me to roll the dice, but this will make it so the Dungeon Master doesn't have to say anything. It just, the effect goes, and I hit the button, and it's just sweet, elegant communication. That's what we're looking for. So the question is, what's the effect? Am I going to do a new effect or not? As I'm kind of looking at these, I was kind of in the mood to do something new, but I'm realizing that I got... Yeah, these are cool. But I have a bunch of these already. I really do. Might as well use what I've already got, right? All right, let's go look at the ones I've got and where they are and go find those. It's going to be over in my assets folder. Spells, I think, maybe? Spell effects? It's here. I got Swirl Smoke. A, B, and C. Sweet. Okay, cool. Let's go figure out where Swirl Smoke is being used. We're going to drop down into Typescript next. Close all this down. It's in the front game. I kind of need it in the back game because I want to draw it behind things is what I want to do, not necessarily in front. I think I'm going to take it to the back as well. So that means we're going to load all those images up. That's what I think I'm going to do. Let's go look at load Swirl Smoke. Let's take that and drop it all the way up in when we're going to move it to the Ancestor class, which I think is Dragon Game, right there. Load Swirl Smoke is now there. I'm going to take this and move it all the way down as well. I'm going to load resources. Okay. Over here. We'll find load resources. Right there. Okay, let's go find those. Okay. Okay, so we moved the Swirl Smoke to the back. Everything in the front should still work. Swirl Smoke. Who has that effect? Let's go look and see so we can actually see it. Let's bring up the data for our spells. See if we find it here. Here we go. Hideous Laughter uses it. Ice Knife uses it. Charm Person uses it. Disguise Self. Shield. Haste. Lots of it in haste. Protection from evil and good. Finally, a spell I've got access to. One of our players has it. I think Cassandra has protection from evil and good. Is that right? Yes, she does have it. So Sandra casts this spell. You should see. There it is right there. See it? There's a couple of them right there. Those are the squirrel smoking effects right there. So if we refresh, what I want to do is I want to refresh the front overlay. Reload those changes. Okay. And I want to recast the spell, make sure we still see them. So one more time. Protection from good and evil. Can't cast it because he's already casting it. Putting roll. The CDC despise smoking your scrolls is bad for your health. Okay, let me advance the clock a bit here. Let's go forward by 10 minutes. Get rid of the spell. And then back into a Sandra. Protection from good and evil. Cast it. Make sure we still see it. Sweet. All right. So all of that is cool. That is the effect I want to get. I want it smaller, and I want it in the back behind the scroll there and up behind over here. That's what I want to do. And I think I want to color code it too. Hey there,
good morning, Mr. Miller.
How
are
you doing?
you?
I'm good. How are you doing, my friends?
I am good as well.
Excellent. I'm just doing some cool. Uh-oh. A very serious look on my face when I dance. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
Yes.
Robert Tables is out here. Hey, Robert. Welcome. No, it's not you. It was me. Well, maybe you got a call too.
Strange he's got Party 3 as his ringtone, hey?
I don't know. Kids, go out and give Robert Tables a follow if you're not already doing that. There's a smart guy right there. I was doing a lurky boy. Okay. No worries.
Fair enough.
No worries. Okay, if you just joined us, Rory, we're taking. Let me advance the spell clock here again. Let me advance the game clock here, so get that to expire. We're gonna take this effect right here. Those swirling clouds.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna take those. We're gonna put them behind the scroll. Right up there, the upper corner, right up there. I'll move the mouse here so you can just kind of see it. Right up in this space. We're going to do that, and then we're going to have them appear there, and we're going to have them appear somewhere around the Dungeon Master frame, which sits right here, but behind it, not in front. Is that the famous Docker guy? I point you to Robert Tables. Mark, the stuff you do is just mind-blowing to me. You've got to be one of the most fun streamers I've ever seen. Oh, thank you, man.
That's very nice.
Thanks, man. I guess we're done. That was it.
Yeah.
We've been working for how long? 3 years to get a bit of praise? Did we do it?
Yeah.
Yes, we got it. We got the praise. Call up Jeff Fritz. Boom! Tell him I retired, sucker. Ha! I retired from the team. I got my praise today. So anyway, no, thank you very much. I appreciate
Also,
that.
thanks, Robert.
Did you say also thanks, Robert? Is that what you said?
Absolutely.
Good. Yeah, also, thank you, by the way, for the praise. Yeah, I know. I used to do this all the time when I was young. Because it would be like, or my mom or my dad would be like, good job, Mark. I'm like, yes! Better than you, Mama, Dad. Better than you. They'd be like, we're not going to give him praise. I don't know why it's so hard for me to get praise, Rory. Well, I don't know. I just admonish everyone. So anyway, I took the sprites for those pieces. We're moving them to the back layer now. By the way, Robert, you want to see something that I think is actually kind of super mind-blowing? Watch this. I love this effect. Where is it? Where's my effect? Dang it. It's not Ray of Frost, is it? There it is. Look at this. Look at this. Check this out, Robert. I have this essentially three-dimensional graphic with particles going around me. Right? See this? I can come down and you see it all the way behind me. Is this not one of the coolest things you've ever seen? I love this. We got some effects like this, and I love this. Yeah.
It's good stuff.
What's the coolest thing you've ever seen?
Oh, I'm just showing this effect. Robert Chapel's out there and he's saying, you know, some of this stuff is mind-blowing, what you're doing. And I'm like, take a look at this. I find this one...
I find one of the really good versions of that is the deep water intro.
Yes, I do. Okay, I'm talking to Rory, though. Excuse me, young lady. I'm sorry, what did you say, Rory?
I was saying another really good example of that's the deep water intro.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Let's play that. Watch this. We've got a fanfare. Watch this. You'll love this, too. This will blow your mind, I think, as well. Let's see where I can see it. Normally it comes when Deepwater just shows up. He showed up yesterday?
I think so, yeah.
Why am I not seeing him? There it is right here. Watch this. Hold your breath.
Now, pay attention to that.
Okay, so anyway, that is Pudding says hello to you, Karen. How you doing?
Hi, Pudding.
Robert, this is Karen, my wife, over here in the background. In case, and I thought Critical Role was fun to watch.
I am also a special effect.
They got nothing on this. Well, for goodness sakes, man, let's try to spread the word. If you want to see it, so this is the show where we're using these effects. It's out here on at twitch.tv/DragonHumpers. Go give us a follow out there. We had a great show last night. And it's Dungeons and Dragons plus we're kind of improv, comedic actors, and we are doing we're making it fun and having a fun time. So anyway, that's what's going on. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, that's a cool effect. I like that effect a lot. Here, let's go ahead and cast the dice on that, and you can see that all of this going on. You see like the frost effect. Oh, I got a card. Somebody gave me an attack bonus. I got a couple cards. Nice. Getting some pluses. Holy cow!
20. That is a hit.
Yeah, those are all tests from before I was throwing out cards out here. But the cards, I don't know if you saw this or not, Robert, but the cards are things that people can buy, and they can then participate in the game, play cards while you're playing to change what happens in the game, and that's one of the things we've been working on the last week. Yeah. Do they buy with bits or something? No, they buy with actual real money out at streamloops.com. Let me give you a link to it. It's and you can see what we've got. Well, actually, I'll bring it up on screen here. Let's see. Data cards. Boom. Here it comes. So this is Power Level 1 cards that are out there right now. Here, I'll bring it out here so you can see it. There it is right there. So these are the cards. Well, actually, you're going to be... I gave you the wrong URL out there. It's just going to be that one for you. Right there. That's the one you want to get to. That's one right there. So these are different cards. Like one of the things you can do is you can actually bring in a heat wave, which might be good about now. So you can play that card right there. And now fire attacks get +3 to hit with +3 damage as an example. Kind of a thing like that. Say anything is kind of cool too because you can control the things that we say. Holy heck, you've done a massive amount of dev in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. At the expense of spending time with your beautiful wife.
No.
You know what
it's because of Code Rush, honey.
Yeah.
Bam, like that.
It's Code Rush. It's not so rushed as you think.
All right.
So wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be super fun to make some cards that were leaned to the side of improv prompts more?
Yep.
Like, lady has to make up a song about her current situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love that. What a great idea. Somebody's going to make up a song.
Yeah,
I love
in the
it.
style of, a children's song.
Yeah.
Style of whatever.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's a great idea. Just feed those ideas to me. Give them to me. We'll do that.
Okay, well, that's one of them.
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said, Roy, but Cutting Gorilla said the snow under the blazing sun is the coolest part. That's from the... Okay, you gotta not hit my buttons, okay? Don't touch my buttons, honey.
Background effects not working.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Sorry about that, kids. Yeah. What did you say, Rory? I didn't hear what you said.
Previously, there was a spontaneous dance battle card that everyone must partake.
Right. Everybody's got a part. Yeah, we still have that one. That one's down at the end too. No, but I think Karen's right. We need more of those improv prompts in there. We've got these other cool things too here, like Jeffrey needs a cuddle, where if you test this card, we worked on this yesterday actually. To play this card, Modron malfunctions and scoots across the battlefield. And then we have to roll some damage on that.
Well, that's the key, isn't it? Because a lot of these cards have actual effects on the statistical engine within the game. So when Jeffrey's just gone across there, there's random lightning damage added to stuff.
Yeah. No, there is.
So this will actually have real effects.
Yeah,
not just, you must do all this now, kind of like a penalty card or something. But yeah.
Okay, so Robert is asking, how are all the UI effects done? Is it After Effects, or how do the graphics happen?
Oh,
okay,
that was a question.
So that's a great question. So it's a combination of stock video, layered, that are layered. It's a plugin that's communicating with OBS saying what to show. For example, I've got an OBS scene called Weather Scenes Back and another one called Weather Scenes Front. And depending on what the weather is, those things move forward or backwards. Wait, it's just occurring to me. We're in battle. Hold on a second. Let's get out of battle. The sun is lasting forever because we're in battle. Let me, advance the clock or something like that. There we go. Sun goes away. Everything goes away. Spell dispels, that sort of thing. So we've got layers. So if I go up, I'll show you my Stream Deck, for example. With the Stream Deck, I can control the scenes with the weather, for example. I can choose what I want the weather to be in the Dungeons & Dragons game. So I can choose like light snow, for example, which there you see that. Or I can do regular snow, or I can do heavy snow, like this. So I can kind of change what the mood is. I can change the sound effects. I've got control over that as well. The heat wave, intense heat wave, those kinds of things, thunder, like that. And so I have that. Yeah, it's very clever actually, because it allows us, same thing with here, I can hit these kinds of buttons here. I can say, let's go hit let's go hit one of these, and I can turn my background into, something like this if I want to. It's got multiple layers, and I'm not changing scenes at all, Robert. That's the cool thing. It's the gluing together. So we've got that as one of my sets of layers, right? Let's go back to just seeing the desktop. So I have the layering that's going on. I also have Typescript browser layers as well that are controlling, smaller animations, including an emitter, particle system, as well as prefab pieces. The prefab pieces, Mark is a slider. What do you mean I'm a slider? What does that mean, Coding Your Own?
That's an old TV series akin to Quantum Leap.
Because I'm going through the, I got you right here. Let's stay in that
some places
theme.
That's a small miniature hamburger.
What kind of beastie machine do you have to power all this? Yeah, it is. It was, I went to the live
Mark went shopping.
I went shopping a while ago. I said, what is the fastest, most powerful card I could get, video card, all of that, because I was pushing the limits of the machine I already had. And I basically got the most powerful machine I could get for under like $4,500 at the time. That's what I did. And that was like, what was it, about a year ago, Rory? Maybe something like that. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's what I got, and we've actually gotten to a point where we start to see things stutter, and I have a sense of what that is. But for stuttering, it's full screen. I need about 5 layers with alpha channels, plus all my other stuff going with. I've got essentially 3 other layers of browser pieces, one for the dice, and then a foreground and background layer as well, that are kept in sync. That's how we get pieces to spin around.
And of course, you're compositing the other Dragon Hunters characters in on this
right.
Normally. This is just yourself and Fred, right?
Normally there's 5 people that we're green screening, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So there's 5 people that are all getting green screen at once. So that's what the machine can handle. It's not bad though. It's not bad. If I was smarter, I'd figure out how to do it all in Azure. But I'm not. This is, you know why? You know why the show is so fun?
Let's just refactor everything from where it is to Azure.
Yeah.
That won't take long.
The show is fun because I'm not smart, and we don't solve it with genius. We solve it with brute force and ignorance. That's what we do, kids.
Yeah.
So that's our And that's our show. No. So anyway, that's how we solve it.
Awesome!
Live coder scene, yeah, purveyor of beastly tech. Sounds like it's impossible for you to have a cold office in the winter. It is kind of true, because I'm living actually in Costa Rica. So the main remarkable thing, so yeah, this is totally like, we're probably like the biggest, highest tech broadcaster in the entire country of Costa Rica, is my guess, in terms of, bandwidth outload and live effects that we're doing. The whole goal is to have ESPN level quality effects while we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. That's what we're trying to do. Okay, so back to code. Cool, everybody.
What are we doing today?
Well,
Back to the code!
I gotta hit the back to the code button. Here's what we're gonna do today. Murky wants to go superstar mode. Sure. Costa Rica has a Rolly Brownouts. We know Mark is streaming.
That's disturbingly close to the truth.
Well, actually, last night when we started the show last night, a brownout hit, and it was long enough to kill our internet connection. It hit everything, and just as we started, and I was like that. All right, let's exit combat here. We start the clock there. Yeah, layering everything is exactly what we're doing. All right, and let's just calm down for a second, okay? What I'm doing is I'm taking the swirl smoke and I'm moving it to the back layer so that I can use it. I'm sorry, moving it to the ancestor class, the dragon game, the ancestor class, which is the ancestor for the dragon front layer and the dragon back layer. Dragon front layer is already using the swirl smoke effect, and I demonstrated that by showing Asandra casting protection from evil and good. When she casts it, you'll see those effects right next to me. That's swirl smoke. That's all created by a C# scripting engine that changes the color as it, it allows us to change color, rotation, all kinds of things like that for that effect. I'm wondering if it makes sense to kind of show that a little bit. We go to Asandra and we click on code up here, and we go to protection from evil and good, preparation complete. So that's it. This is this whole thing that we built for setting up effects. And so
we needed a scripting language, so we use C# and we threw our own editor together and have IntelliSense and
that's right. So this is the hue of it right here. So you're seeing when I do protection from evil and good, there's kind of two colors to the hue, kind of the red and the blue to signify the evil and the good. I should be able to choose fire event, but is it going to work because it's still going? I don't think it's going to work because she's already casting it. So we need to advance the clock. Let me hit the advance the clock button here. Let's go forward by 10 minutes. Go to that and do it again. There we go. So there's the blue and there's the red. But if I want to change that, let's maybe say I want to make this one a little more purple. I might take it to 330. Take it backwards so it's a little more purple for that second one. And then come back in. Let's advance the clock and fire the event. And there. See, it's a little more purple. A little more purple. Let's take it back even further. Let's take it back to 310. Like that. We'll advance the clock, fire it again. And there's that kind of purple color coming in, which is not bad. This 230, I kind of want to take this, make it a little more purple too. So I'm going to make it up to like 270, like that. Let's advance the clock, fire the event. And so you can see we've got a pretty fast edit. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so it gives us all kinds of control. We can do that. We can change its saturation, its brightness. We can work on its scale as well. I might want to make the second one smaller. And we can also do rotations, and there's actually way more parameters. So we can do a degree rotation per second, all of that. So all of that goes into this scripting language. So that means we're going to have some sort of, we'll have a fair amount of control over this when we invoke it to have some sort of swirling effect, that sort of thing. The DM, we're all hooking this up to a page the Dungeon Master has, or at least called Setting the Hidden Threshold. This is the number that they set that says, your die roll plus your modifiers has got to be higher than this value. Yeah, one more time on that close. And so when this button is hit, or this button is hit, I want to have an effect on screen that shows me it's happened. The reason why is because while the Dungeon Master's on this page, on his Stream Deck, I'm on another page on my Stream Deck. Like for example, I might be over here on the skill test, ready to hit this button. But I won't know when to do it until I see that cue. And that's what I'm looking for. I've actually got two of these big stream decks in front of me. The other one is over here on the side, and what I might do is I might load up both so I can actually simulate for the test what the dungeon master is looking at when they run it. So I can go back. I can hit both buttons at once to do it. Or actually, you know what I might do is I might come in. Here's what I'm going to do. This is an easier test to do. I'm going to come into hidden threshold. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to put it just right down here for a second. So I've got to just cut a copy of it. So I can just go in there and hit that, come back and hit that. They're just going to be pretty close. In fact, maybe I'll even copy that. Wait, it's skill check. It's this one. Copy this and put it down right there. So there, I would hit this button. I would hit this button, and then I'd hit that button just for testing, and then we'll get rid of those. Okay. Yeah. So when we hit skill check, by the way, we call in a command called apply. Here's what we got to do. We got to do like two things, I think. I'm just going to bring up a new notepad here. We'll type this in. What we're looking to do. We need to send a signal-R command down to Typescript to show the DM prompt. I'm thinking it's we need a DTO. I was going to say let's make it simple, but almost always I promote it after I create something simple to a class. So sometimes I just send a text command, and so we need a DTO. We'll have to figure that out. Maybe I'll start with a simple command. We need to start the animation in response to getting the command. And it's going to be in two places. I don't know if you understand why I said I wanted it in two places. Were you here for when I explained that?
I do not recall that bit.
Hold on a second. Saying no to Fred. Okay, so it is. I need it in two places because I might be.
Oh, you've got a front and a back layer as well.
No, it's not that. It's that I'm going to put them in the back layer only, but I want to be. I'm going to be looking at two places. Either I'm looking at the Dungeon Master. Normally, I look at the Dungeon Master for clues, visual clues that they've set the threshold, right? So, yeah. There's our hitting buttons. You can see the body kind of, this is an exaggerated look, but you can see that. And then at some point, you can see their cognitive load drops once they're done hitting the buttons, right? So they're kind of like, like that. And so I'm looking for that as my clue to hit the button. But what I really want to do is look at my camera. My camera is like right up near the, it's right underneath this point right here on my screen. Right where I would be looking to see the visual clue. So if I'm looking for the visual clue right there, my eyes are not too far away from the camera. That's really where I want to be, right there. So I want it there, but I also, in case I'm looking at our Dungeon Master, in case he's talking, I want it over by the Dungeon Master as well. So we show.
Okay.
Okay?
Good logic, yep.
Yeah. I think that's it. Those are the two things we need to do. So let's work on, I think, the signal-R command. This guy's running right now. I think I'm going to close him down. Let's turn off the music. Hold on a second. Turn off the music. There. We're going to get the Code Rush music going instead. What else do we need to hide? We need to, let's advance the clock so we get rid of protection from good and evil. I think it's good. All right, let's close this down. The cool thing about this, by the way, Robert, if you're still out there, these changes that we made, they're saved out to a Google spreadsheet as I make the changes. It was another cool thing that we did is just automatically saving data as we're making changes to it. It's kind of cool. Okay, closing that down. And let's see, we need to send the signal-R out. When it's set. It's coming from what we said was the apply command. So let's follow that. The apply command actually takes a lot of has a lot of parameters, or different options that can be sent.
Yep.
And this is where I think we go for this particular one. So this command has a number of different options based on what pieces were set, based on what was typed in. So apply less damage, that sort of thing. If I tab to next reference to get down into here, okay, apply, and here we go. Save threshold, skill threshold, attack threshold. Okay. All right. Let's jump into those. Okay, cool. So these are all just pretty much just sending things out. We're sending a message to the dungeon master, setting an internal value, and that's all that's happening. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, go out to my Hubtastic base station, one of my favorite class names here, because it's so Hubtastic. And we're going to do, what is it? DM data changed. So I added this morning, and it takes a string. Why not? We'll just send a regular string out to this for now. We're going to call it attack. Changed. Yeah, geez, I'm hating this already. Let's create a class. Okay, here we go. So create a new class. Going to complete DM data, DTO maybe, and let's see. I guess we could have an enum. Call it what happened. What happened? Saving threshold changed like that. And let's use a duplicate line to get this here. Change this to attack threshold and then skill check like that. Okay, so at least we've got those things that we know that we're going to send. And then we're going to have a new property of this type right here. Nope, not an abstract class. Property, there we go. I think I want to call it event with an uppercase. And then I think I want to change this to DM event. That's a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Okay, now let's take this, move it to file. Take this, move it to file. Got some performance issues right here. Dev team knows about it, and we're looking into those. So just FYI. The cool thing about this class is it's like almost 11,000 lines of code. So it's a great one for us to be working on these issues with. All right, let's go back down. So now what I want to do is I think it's serialize it. I forget what the exact call is. I'm just going to do a search for serialize in here. Serialized object. That's what I'm looking for right there. Okay.
Yep.
Get back. So serialized object. Let's go. Let's create the new DM data DTO. Let's go into that thing a second. I want to give it a parameter. I want to give it a constructor so I can initialize that. I can just come up here, use the CodeRush template CC, hit the space bar, tap the space bar to get that event selected there, and then we can come in there and do that, and it'll give me a constructor that takes the event in. Okay? All right. Okay. So now let's come back over here. Now we're going to pass in the DM event. And this is the attack threshold changed. Then we're going to send that serialized object over. Okay, and that'll send it via signal R, and everyone will be happy. There, we're going to do that there. And maybe I'm going to do this instead. Trigger DM event, and I'm going to do this. I like this way better.
Gotcha, yeah.
Since I got to do this.
That'll save us rewriting the same code multiple places. If we ever change the mechanic as well, that'd be nice to have it centralized and just take that param and pass it on through.
Yeah, and maybe there'll be more params as well. All right, so there I've got that. Trigger DM event, looking good. I love it. Let's go do the same thing here. Reset saving throw threshold. And what I intend to do is have a different visual effect based on what the threshold is, I think.
Okay.
That's what I'm kind of playing with here. And then this one is going to be the skill check. Okay, let's go back up in here to this guy. I think I want to, I'm just looking at ordering these, and I think I want to change this order to that. All right, I need this down in Typescript, so I'm going to copy that, come down over into Typescript, inner dragon game right in here. I'm going to throw it right up here. Like that, sweet. So the cool thing about enums is they're essentially the same in both TypeScript and in C#. And then I'm going to take this guy, and we're going to do, we're just going to build it. So I'll copy that to clipboard. We'll come in and say class DMDTO like that, and then we're going to give it one of these. I think. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to do it like this instead. And I think that's all I need to do, because that's the only data I'm sending down. Okay? You happy with that, Rory?
Yep,
okay.
I am indeed.
Okay, next, we need to go find our connection right there. DM data changed. We need to kind of deal with this thing. And so what this connection is used in all the layers, but if it's used in the back layer, then this will be true. So this is how I kind of decide who gets what. And now I'm going to say DM data changed in the back layer. Send it to the back layer like that. And I think I'm just going to pass in the DM data. And we'll deserialize it once we get in.
Okay.
Thought I declared you. Whoops, wrong button. Declare method. Now can I drill? There we go. It did declare it.
It did do it. Just didn't redetect it that quickly, maybe.
Okay, let's get to the end of this guy. Pop it down here. Okay, so now I've got this. Now I want you to deserialize it over here. It's probably going to look just like this.
Yeah, I'd say that's it.
And let's grab that. And let's do that. And then this one is going to be, though, what do I got? DMDTO.
DMDTO. Data DTO.
Like that. DM data DTO. Cool. Do I have a switch template down here?
Look at that.
That's Code Rush, kids. That's Code Rush.
Gotta love that.
All right. Okay, cool. So now,
look at all the typing you just didn't have to do. It's great.
We can now talk about all the typing I didn't have to do, because we'd be typing now. You'd be watching it.
Yeah. Character by character, piece by piece. IntelliSense, sure, but it's still going to take a while.
Okay. What am I doing? All right. So check skill threshold changed. Genesis 7 switch into funk right after the song. By the way, if you type in the drop command right now, Genesis 7, bang drop, you'll drop a meteor onto the player and it'll just switch the song immediately. Just like that. A little pro tip there if you really want to change the song. Now I got to do something. So at this point, I'm pretty sure SignalR is working. I'm feeling kind of good about it.
Yep.
I don't know if we should check it or if we should just keep going. I think it's going to look like this. This dot, was it smoke swirl? No, swirl smoke. There it is. Swirl smoke.
Okay.
All right. So I've got different kinds of pieces here. And I think the question is, how am I going to differentiate them? I'm playing with this idea of making this predominantly red.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I could do blue for attack. And then the skill check, well, I don't know. Now I'm starting to not even like this. I think the saving
What's
threshold...
the normal significance of red and blue? Is there anything there?
Red's generally bad and blue is friendly. So red is enemies.
Okay.
So we could also say, but I was thinking red that we'd say, well, you're in danger, but kind of thing like that. But let's see if we can get some meaning to the color. I think I might do color combo too, kind of thing. So like we could maybe go with, yeah, I'm not finding anything. There's one other way that we can look at color, in that if we look at the 3 buttons, I've got blue, green, and red. See, for the triangles, we've done that.
Yeah.
Maybe go with that. Let's do that. So
That seems reasonable. I gotta say, my gut says that red is more of a damage thing and thus maybe attack related, so
good.
That I think is in line with what you've just shown us.
Okay, so we're going to do, the saving is going to be green. Right, kind of a teal green, I think it is. Yeah, it's kind of a teal green. So we'll kind of do a teal green there. And so we'll play with different colors. We'll put up a couple different pieces. And so I think the method's going to be something like this dot show DM set threshold feedback or swirl, maybe feedback.
Okay. Feedback's good.
Yeah, feedback's better than swirl, because what if I want to change it? So we're going to set that, and we want to pass in, I think, 2 colors. So for blue, we'll say 220, and then we'll say, no, maybe we'll just say 220. We'll just set it in 1. So that's going to be the hue shift right there. That's all it's going to be. And then inside there, we're going to create 2 swirls of 2 different random pieces, you know, give them something so it looks different every time. And we'll vary the hue a little bit. We'll do plus or minus maybe 30 for the hue. So we'll get kind of something that looks within that range. Teal green, I think, is probably at about 170. And the red is going to be right in around 0, right there. Okay, so
that's good.
Cool, cool, and cool. Next, let's go in and declare that. This is going to be my hue shift. I haven't worked in this place for a long time, Rory. All right, So now we're going to go with, we need to get some random swirls, is what we need to do. I think...
So random selection from the A, B, and C, yeah?
Yeah, so I think I'm going to do this. So let's do this. Let's create some sprites here, and we're going to call it Swirl 1, like that. And we're going to say this dot get random swirl, like that. And then we're going to say swirl 2 is equal to this. I'm going to put a counter in here. Oops. Counter or attempts, num attempts. I'm going to try to make sure that swirl 2 is not the same as swirl 1. Yeah. Set that equal to 0. And then I'm going to say while attempts is less than, I don't know, 10. And swirl 1 is equal to swirl 2. Is that how I want to do it, or do I want to do that? I think I want to do this maybe, because that means they're both pointing to the same spot. Or does it matter? Yeah. Does anyone know?
See, it depends what you're returning from get random swirl.
I'm returning a reference.
Instantiating, it is a reference, and
it's
it will come from the same pool of references.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Does it not matter? Maybe it doesn't matter. That's kind of what I'm feeling now.
I genuinely don't know. Coding Gorilla would be our normal go-to.
Coding Gorilla, Robert Table, somebody who knows how to do this. All right, so we're going to call this get random swirl, like this. And what do we do? We're going to say if, I think I've got a random class out here. Sorry, what? I was on our stand-up call. I'm sorry, buddy. You do your stuff, man. If random dot chance percent, so I'm going to give it a 33% chance here, and if that's the case, I'm going to return this dot smoke swirl A. Then I'm going to say else if random 50%. I'll give you the question in a second once I just finish writing this code. I'm going to do B, And then finally, I'm going to return C like that. Does that make sense? So there are 3 of these to choose from. So I give a 1/3 chance of that. If I don't, then there's 2 left. So it's got like 50% chance of this one or that one. Okay.
Sure.
So now the, this one's a const. The question is, if I'm comparing 2 references, I want to see if they're the same. This works and that works.
You need to move the code up slightly, Mark. It's
sorry.
right behind your head.
Thanks.
So we're talking about the comparison between double equals and triple equals with regard to reference comparisons. Does it matter which we use? And if it does, perhaps why?
Okay, so while attempts is less than 10 and swirl 1 is equal to swirl 2, I'm going to come back in and I'm going to say, hey, swirl 2 is equal to get random swirl. I'm only trying to get like an A and a B or a B and a C. I just don't want to get an A and an A. That's all I'm trying to avoid right now. And this is, I'm going to give it 10 shots at going in there to get it.
Do we have anything, because a swirl is an animation, it's a series of frames that you've pre-baked, yes?
Yes.
So, do we have the possibility of playing an animation backwards?
Yep, I think so.
So, could just say, if they're the same thing, play the second one backwards. Would that have an okay effect?
No, I think it would be okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It comes big. Excuse me, I got some, and then it, oh no, it ends kind of big though.
Right.
I think it would still look cool.
It'll depend on the individual animation, I guess, and maybe not so good.
Yeah, I'm just looking for slow movement, right? Something to say, okay, we're good to go. Okay, so that, now step 1 is we've gotten both our swirls. Step 2 is we need to add some sprites to those things. So we say this dot add shifted. Where do we want to put it? I want to put it here, which is about what, 100, 200, 300 out, 350, 400 maybe. Let's put it out at 400 and put it up near the top, about 0.
Conan Gorilla says, in our particular case, it probably doesn't matter. He says, when it's a reference, I don't think the double versus triple matters because you can't coerce the reference A to a reference to B.
The double means coerce, is that what it is?
The small piece I read on it suggested when you use triple, you're comparing the value but also the type. So I'm guessing that that's a 5 held in a number versus a 5 held in an object will not be triple equals because the types are different. Something like that.
Okay. All right.
But we're comparing like types anyway, so
yeah,
one in a string versus
equals 1 because you can coerce the one type to another. Ah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, good to know.
You can think of it as equals and more equals. And the more is, in this case, the type is good too.
Okay, so now I've got swirls both being added. I need to go look at these and see how they're declared. Are they declared when they're loaded as looping? No, sequential. Sweet, so they'll just go away on their own. So everything is going to clean up automatically. The only thing we haven't done that we need to add is we need to draw these 3 in the Dragon back game. So we need to go find our update or our draw method, whatever it is in here. Update screen, there it is. So we're drawing sprinkles, drawing the clock layer, updating the screen, drawing all of this other stuff. Where is this being called from? Just super. Okay, so what I want to do is do that at the very beginning. I want to draw all of these guys here. Just copy this. Okay. So I can add these to a group of things later if I wanted to, but I just need to at least have that happening. Wait, am I in the front game? How do I get to the front game? Oh, it's not what I want at all. Dragon back game. So I thought I was here and I did update screen. That's what I want. Sorry there. Somehow I jumped. I remember seeing draw sprinkles before. Somehow I got...
Yeah.
I don't know how I moved from one to the other. Okay, so there we go. That's what I want to put in the back game. That's the code. So this add shifted will put it up or right around that space. I think we want to throw in some more parameters maybe, or at least let's assign this to a sprite proxy. Whoops. TSP for sprite proxy. There we go. And we're going to call this sprite1. This one's going to be sprite2. And then we're going to call, I think, this. Oh, no, wait, it's better. It's better to just do this. This dot create smoke swirl. And we're going to pass in 400 0. And the hue shift. Like that. And then we want like that. And then we want another one for scroll 2. We don't need that. Okay, better. Go. Okay, so now then this is arg1 is X, arg2 is Y, and the hue shift. And we're going to come down here, X and Y. This is the starting frame number. That's going to be 0. We're starting at the beginning. Now that we've got the sprite, then we can start doing things with it. We can say, hey, auto rotation, degrees per second is equal to, I can say random plus minus. Oops. Plus minus, like maybe 5 or 10 even, maybe. Give it a little random auto degree rotation. Let's do tab index reference on this. Initial rotation. Yeah. Fade in time's good for sure, and fade out time, we need those kinds of things. So sprite.fade out, fade in time, let's make that. I think it should come in pretty quickly actually. Because I kind of, the sooner I know, the better. Yeah. So we're going to say that fade in time is that. There's no fade out time actually for this. Actually, maybe I'm not, because this actually, if you look at the animation, it kind of
sort of fades on its own.
Yeah.
Or at least it gets more and less intrusive.
Yeah, I'm gonna just not do anything at all. Fade in. I'll set 0 there, and do the same with fade out time. And then the other thing is the scale. Sprite.scale equals 1 plus random plus minus random between and between negative 0.1 and a positive 0.1. So give me something like that.
So that's good. We've got a plus minus on the hue shift, on the rotation, and on the scale, making it very unlikely. And of course, we're randomly selecting from 2 or 3 swirls in the first place. So the chances of these two being the same effect are, well, staggeringly unlikely, really.
Yeah, I think that's all we need to do. I almost feel like we're looking at a refresh, and this whole thing might work. There's nothing I'm remembering that we need to redo. This actually should be called the Rory Show. It should be.
Because I passed one comment at the end.
Oh, hey.
I think we may be overblowing the contribution at this point.
I don't think so. By the way, Rory, I need, Pudding says yes, for sure. I need to record a video with you.
Sure.
And I think I need to do it tomorrow. I don't know if you have time or not tomorrow.
I can make time for that.
Can you? All right, let's talk afterwards about when you can do it, and I'll make sure I'm available. I have my schedule tomorrow's a little tight, but if we can do it tomorrow, that'd be awesome. I think it's like a 30-minute thing, maybe 35 minutes, and we'll be done. The video itself is only about 2 minutes and 20 seconds long, so we might just nail it. Okay. Roy will have a face. He won't be Fred anymore. I actually did some work on a version of you that looked like your avatar, but that's for when I have
way
no demands on my time.
Yeah,
no demands on my time. All right, so there we go. Create smoke swirl. VTuber Rory keeps asking. Yeah,
he's quite keen on that, isn't he?
That might happen too, because it's probably just some software I can download and I'm done, and I won't have to build anything of my own. So I refreshed. Let's go start up the D&D app. Start looking at what happens. Do we actually have something happen? Wouldn't that be sweet? Wouldn't that be awesome if everything just worked?
So we've got events that fire. We've got you pushing buttons on the stream deck to simulate both your doing of things and also the Dungeon Master doing of things. These will then trigger events from the Dungeon Master side, which will then cause various swirls to appear in multiple locations, multiple colours, indicating that this has happened.
Yeah.
It's giving you the nice visual clue that the check needs to actually be used. Or the threshold is available to be used in a check.
Yeah. Pudding says he was watching a live music stream the other day where people were playing music live, I think, right? That's cool. Okay, and I noticed they were using software to sync the different inputs from all the musicians.
Oh, they're in different locations. That's got to be challenging.
You need some serious zero latency, things approaching zero latency. Okay, so let's do this. I'm just going to right now hit a button. I'm on I'm on my Stream Deck page here. I'm just going to hit 12 and skill check and see what happens. Do I see anything? Oh! Okay.
Ooh.
Not
there you go.
bad.
So it's both subtle, but also for those who are looking, quite obvious. It's nice. It doesn't distract as such, but it's there as an indicator.
It is. Pudding says they didn't reveal how to do it, but I had a couple ideas. Yeah. Well, I was talking to Carl Franklin about this a while back because he's a musician, and he was talking about this problem. And as I recall, he was specifically mentioning of one piece of software that was available to solve this problem. And I think since then I've heard of at least one other piece of software. And that's all I know. So I suspect there's two pieces of software already available that do this. Yeah. Okay. So that's cool. So that was skill check. Let's set a saving throw. See if we see green. Nice. Okay. And then let's do the enemy AC. That should be red. All right, that's good. Let's figure out, and it's just in the right place too. So over here, I want to go about, what, 900? No. Hold on, for some reason I can't do the math in my head. I want to go about 1090 minus 400. It's going to be 690? Is that where I'm going to hit? There you go. So about 700. Okay, so on the other side, I want to get 700. So let's add that piece as well right now so we can see both of these showing up in different spots. So we're just going to take that, and then we're going to come down over here. We're going to go to, say, 700-ish, and I want to go down about 450, 500, 450, 440, I think. Let's go 440. All right, so there's that. Let's refresh. All right, and let's go set the threshold again. So 12, save. What? 700?
That does not appear to be where you were looking for.
1920 is where I wanted to go. I was thinking 960. So 1920 minus 400 is 1520. We agree with that?
Yeah.
Let's refresh. All right, saving throw. So teal green. That's where I want it.
There you go.
Nice. Okay, cool. Skill check. Skill check is looking a lot like, because it's a little blue. It's kind of, but it's not too big of a deal. The save is there. I'm actually thinking these can be smaller. And there's the attack, enemy AC. Okay, I'm thinking they can be smaller.
It could be, yeah.
Let's make them smaller.
They're definitely getting enough attention, possibly a little too much now. I guess that's why you want it to be a little lower, a little smaller, I should say.
Let's make it between, well, we can just do this. It's even bigger, easier to say random between. And we're going to say we want it to be between 0.5 and 0.75. Let's do that. Okay, let's do a refresh. I need to move a button here. Give me a second. I want to copy this button and put it down in here. So just hit the refresh button there. All right, now do it. Let's see how these look. Better, better, better. Oh my God, this is so good. Good. So that's cool. Now I know when they do it. So here's what it looks like. So that's cool. I don't even need this anymore. That I think the feature is done. The only thing I noticed, it wasn't behind the scroll like I wanted. It was above it, but I ultimately decided it wasn't that bad. So so there's the scroll right there. And let's do, let's go in here, we'll do that test. So let's go in here, hidden threshold. So I'll type in 15, but I won't hit any button yet. Then I'm going to come in here and say, okay, ladies, doing the skill check, history. Then I'm going to go in and do the skill check button. The only problem, I was just slightly worried about that, is when we hit the button to say history or animal handling, watch what happens. The back layer disappears.
Yeah. So your timing's got to be good, because otherwise your wonderful new effect won't be showing up.
I think I gotta put it on the front layer. I think I gotta move it to the front layer. I know you're probably thinking, I don't care. Put it on whatever layer you want, Mark. If I weren't in England, I'd come kick your butt now.
If the front layer is where the effect's going to be, is that the same layer on which the history animation is playing?
Yeah, no. It's the history is coming between those two.
But effectively, you're going to have our new effect on top of the history then.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So,
okay.
I wanted you to, the other thing, wait, hold on a second.
Because I'm wondering how much of a disturbance that'll be on a full screen graphic that's already kind of been designed to be there by itself.
It's not, it's 0, because that full screen graphic is playing a video and it's a layer already between things. It has nothing to do with the browser overlay. The browser overlay is on top.
I'm purely thinking in terms of visual distraction.
Oh, visual, so yeah, no, I'm with you.
You've got a full screen thing that is presented as a whole, and now there's this weird piece of smoke going off in the corner.
Yeah. You know what I could do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the same thing on the front layer, but on the front layer I'm going to make it tiny and really out of place, so that if the thing is up, I'll see it on the front layer as well. That'll be how I solve the problem. All right, sweet. So we've got, let's see, did we look at it here? I haven't put up the Dungeon Master. Let me put up the Dungeon Master frame, so we'll take a look at where that is. Give me 1 second to get to that. I'm going to go away for a minute, and then I'll be right back. I think Rory will be gone audibly as well for a second while I make this switch. All right, so everything's refreshing.
There's the frame.
There's the frame. Right there. Okay. Let's refresh. Okay. And let's set the threshold and just see where the positions are. See how that is. Oh, it can be moved over to the right. Yeah, let's move it over. I kind of want it in that bottom left corner right there is where I want it.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I actually don't. I want it right about where Zephyr's eyes are going to be, which is up right about where the sun is right now. I think I want it up more. Let's just get that in the right space.
So you're going to use this to kind of obscure the Dungeon Master, but only a little bit because of the nature of the effect.
No, I'm going to keep it'll obscure just a little bit. It's just a little bit. We're going to move this to say 1600. I think like that. Let's refresh. And I got rid of that button too soon off of my Stream Deck. Let's copy that just in case we don't like this one. skill check. Oh, I didn't hit the refresh button yet. Let me do it. It looks like it's showing up in the right spot. I don't need to refresh anyway. All right, there's a refresh here. 12, skill check. Yeah, that's sweet. Saving throw. I think that save can go further green is kind of what I think it can do. Where's my hue shift? Where do I get that? Right up here. Further green, I think is going to be at the very least 16. Let's go. I mean 15 here. 150. Let's try that. Refresh. Refresh. Okay, there's the skill check. Definitely blue. Here comes the saving throw. Yeah, definitely green. And then there's the enemy I see. Yeah, so it's not obscuring the Dungeon Master. It's behind the Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
And in fact, I almost think...
It's quite nice because it kind of pokes out from behind the frame.
Yeah, that's kind of where I managed it with. I imagined it as well behind the scroll that appears on the left. But I noticed it was on top of the scroll, and I was like, wait, what? I want to kind of take a look at that and see what's happening there. Let's refresh it. See that new change? I just moved things just a little bit. Moved it a little bit off to the side. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's nice. And because it's so slow and amorphous, our eyes are not really like attributing a lot of meaning to it.
Indeed. Right?
So it's easy to kind of see it, recognize it's there and then go do something else. All right, that's good. Let's go look at the scroll. Why is the scroll... Why is it showing up behind the scroll? I mean, in front of it. That's my question. But I don't mind it. That's the thing, is I'm kind of like, you know what? It doesn't look that bad, right? It doesn't really block anything.
It's kind of in the same way as it pokes out from behind the Dungeon Master frame. It's kind of poking out from off screen. The top of the screen, and it's got that similar kind of just a hand kind of coming out, waving slightly, almost Jedi mind trick. You pay no attention to the smoke. So it does work on either level.
Yeah, it does. Okay, let's do the. All right, let's do this. I'm refactoring because I want to be able to take this, move this to the ancestor class, and then be able to use it more easily from two different places. So I just want the code to look like this. I just want that to be my code. And then inside there, I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to take all of this and move it down inside what I'm about to create.
So you inherently got a method that's going to make two swirls and then do the various forms of offset to keep them distinct.
Yeah.
And that'll be the case for any swirl that you choose to call into existence. So we've got two of them for now, our two locations. A third location will inherently have two swirls, will inherently vary the hue, not the physical location, but the scale and the rotation.
Yeah. So that's feeling kind of good to me right there. We didn't really look at the rotation to see if we wanted to tweak that or not. Let's refresh this and take a look at that rotation, see if we want to play in that space anymore.
I don't know that I'm conscious of any rotation.
Right. Yeah. It's subtle. Let's change this to, say, 90 and see if you're conscious of it.
Fair enough.
I'm not even there. I didn't see it.
No. Now, I do remember when you were looking at this, the auto rotation degrees in the other location was being set, but so was the initial rotation.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering if that was for some reason I seem to recall that I need to do those two things. Let me just set it to 90, flat out. So 90 degrees per second. We should be able to spot that for sure.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
That's definitely working, yeah.
I like that.
That's quite nice. That puts me in mind of sort of any vortex logic that you've ever seen. I think it's typical of like a Doctor Who start.
Yeah, I've got this cool feature called plus minus between, which gives me, lets me set a min and a max. And so I can say, let's go rotate between 40 degrees and say like, 90 degrees, but you pick a random thing and it can be either positive or negative. Does that make sense? So let's try that. And then now we should see, sometimes them going one way or sometimes going another way. And we should see at some point, we should see opposite directions here. At some point, we do this enough. There you go, up or there. That's cool.
Yes, that's nice.
But I'm not sure I like opposite directions as much as I like same directions. Yeah, opposite directions seems to create conflict for me.
It draws attention more, and I don't know that that's necessarily what you're after.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But I do like them spinning at this rate. So what I want to do is I want to say multiplier. Direction multiplier, I think. Something like that. Spin multiplier. Like that. And then up here I want to say if random dot chance percent 50. I want to say spin multiplier is equal to 1. Otherwise, spin multiplier is equal to -1. So it's going to go one of the two directions. It's going to spin. We're going to have the spin multiplier pass that in. And then inside here, we're not going to do plus or minus between. We're just going to do plus or minus, but we're going to multiply it by our spin multiplier. So they'll both always be going in the same direction, but they could be going at different speeds. Okay. Oh, and it's not plus or minus. It's just all we need is just between. Like that. So between 40 and 90. Okay? That's it. Let's refresh. Refresh. Go. Yeah, it's way better.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah, it's so good. And having that slight variation in color, right? It's like, it kind of, we tend to kind of attribute kind of depth and a richness to it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go figure out. Let's take these.
You wanted to put this in the ancestor class so that you could use it in both.
So I want to take. I'm going to need one more thing, and it's the scale multiplier. I need one more thing, the scale multiplier. Let's create smoke swirls, so I need it right here. Scale multiplier, like that. Set it equal to 1. And then we need to pass that in here. Okay, and then we need it down over here, like that. And down in here, it's equal to this times the scale multiplier. So what that allows us to do is come out and say, do this exact same call, but then change have a different scale for it. Yes. In fact, what I think I want to do actually is this. Remove that. And then I want to say, put it here, set it equal to 1, and then pass that in here and here. And so now I've got a single call that I can pass in.
But your single call is talking about two very specific locations.
Yeah, but if I scale them down, they'll be in the same spots, but small. Oh, you know what, though? I think I only want to do it up in the upper top. I don't want to do it here.
Because I was assuming you're going to take the lines from 850 onwards into your ancestor class, and your usage on, is it 845, was going to stay here.
I think you're right. I'm back to changing that. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So we'll do that instead. And we're going to pass in here nothing because we're going to default to 1. So this will be just the 1 scale right there. Okay, so we'll take these and move them up. Let's go to Dragon Game. Get random swirl, looks like we forgot that. Yeah, it's super cool effect, right? Just with those 3 and those other changes, it's like, it looks very distinct. I'm thinking about moving this.
Okay.
As well.
This is very purpose-bound, though, isn't it?
I want to put it
for 3 specific types of Dungeon Master feedback.
Yeah, but
as opposed to just generic swirls.
Yeah. Then I want to take that and make it. Oh wait, can I do this? Yeah, I can. How do I do? Is it like? I just declare it and redeclare it with the same name. There's no virtual and override, I think. Do you recall that? Is that true for you?
What's your objective?
I want to have this in the ancestor, but have descendants override it.
I think you just redeclare it.
Yeah, just redeclare it. Okay. So this is going to be the hue shift. Like that. And I think that's all I do here. And then in Dragon Back Game, yes, redeclare it. In fact, it's already there. I just do that. And it does this instead.
Yes.
It will call this one, not the parent. If I want to call the parent, I have to do something like super. Base or super, right? Super, that's what I have to do. Okay, so set DM threshold feedback is here. Let's go into Dragon Front Game. Do the same thing. And this one, we don't have specific calls to draw because it's been added to one of these sets of effects, probably back effects or maybe the front effects, somewhere in that space. So I think we're good. I think we're good there. We just need to go into Dragon Front Game, paste that in, and change the values.
Yes. Now, will the message reach both games?
Yeah, we're going to get that. That's the last thing we have to do. It's in connection. Okay. It will. So the scale multiplier here, we're going to say 0.25 and 0.25, so it'll be much smaller. And this one, I don't think I want to put it there. I think I want to put it right here. Kind of like symmetric to the other side is what I want to do. So I want to do 1920 minus 400, which is going to be 1620. And then down here, I want to say 1080. That's what I think I want to do.
Yeah, I think you're right, because when there's a full screen something on the screen, eyes tend to be drawn to either the mid or just above the mid. And so if your subtle hints are down at the bottom, that's where they're most likely to be ignored by somebody who's not looking for them.
Yeah. Okay, and so now what we need is this. Whoops, we need, well, it's probably easier to just take that, copy it, and then do the DM data change. Cool. With that now, I should be able to refresh both the back and the front. There's the front. Oops, I did it again. Sorry about that. I did it just as you did that. Refresh both of those. Do a skill check. We should see one more showing up down near in here.
Ooh.
I did not see it.
No, did not see. Do the swirls exist in both? The actual facilities to store and... I mean, they really should, otherwise we'd see errors all over the place, wouldn't we?
Yeah. I don't understand why that didn't work. Is there a way to make this abstract? Can I say it's abstract? They'll probably freak out if I try to type in abstract, won't they?
I don't think abstract is the way that works.
Yeah, not even gonna try it.
Is it just a matter of taking the braces away with the semicolon at the end?
Oh, you want to really go for it?
Is that allowed?
You want to try it like that?
I mean...
Ooh! Oh.
Okay, no, apparently not.
Alright. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it too much, but I'm like... What I am slightly worried about is that why isn't that working? I want to try one more time. Drag in front overlay. I'm going to refresh it. I'm going to do the same steps. Just make sure everything's saved. It is. Come on. Nothing. Nothing down at the bottom. Wait. Hold on. Wait. No, I think we're okay because I was just recalling what we did before. So we go here. Create smoke swirls. We go there. That, whoops. Create smoke swirls. Sorry, not there. We go here. Gets us these smoke A, B, and C. Let me just verify there's only one of these. Wait, I've got more? That's why. You never deleted them from here. I think this is why. Because these are all going to override the other one as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's delete them. And now, should still be able to go tab through them because they're all now in Dragon Game. That was my problem. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, refresh. Refresh. Now we should see something down there. No! Come on! What? What?
Okay, anything in console if we run this in a browser?
Roy, I'm still in disbelief. I'm trying it one more time.
Not applying enough willpower.
Okay, let's refresh this. Let's do the search again. Repeat the file. Just want to repeat it. Yeah, just one now. That doesn't make sense. I'm really, at this point, I'm like, what? All right, I'm going to start throwing console log messages out.
Hang on, where were you just there? You're in the back game doing a draw statement. Don't you need one for the front?
I don't think so. It's in front layer. These are added to front layer effects, front effects.
Oh, I see. So they're done via a collection, effectively.
Yeah, that collection should draw. At some point we get down here, we should see a call to all front effects.draw. That's happening in update screen.
Okay.
It should do it.
You didn't happen to shrink it so small and accidentally put it behind a Sandra's nameplate? Have to be very small, I think, to do that. But maybe. Let's play with that a little. That idea. Let's make it really big. In fact, let's throw like one more right in the middle. We'll make it big. How's that sound? That will help. Yeah.
So 960.
Pretty definitive at that point.
540. And let's make it multiply by 2. Let's set a hue shift of like 300 to it. Okay, let's refresh front overlay.
There we go.
But we still don't see the one down there.
No.
How are we not seeing it there? We should totally see it. All right, let's change this to 0.5.
1080 is the height of your screen, isn't it? So does that mean it's emanating from off screen?
Yeah, that's what I put it at.
But the top half of it should therefore be visible somewhere.
Yeah, I'll make it 900 for now. Let's see. And I'm changing the hue, this piece right here. Is that what was going on the whole time? So here we go. Let's refresh the page. Refresh. There it is.
There it is. Now, interestingly, I'd have said that that's on the right edge of Assandra's nameplate, so even if it was down level with it, I'd have expected it to be poking out the side.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused.
So I was at what? I was at...
You were at 1080 and you had a 0.25
then I
at
went
the
to
time.
900. Now I want to go to 980, I think. That's what I think I want to do. Drop it down a little bit. Pudding says, I wish Sandra was more chat interactive. I can't get into my simp character. She doesn't cooperate. All right, Pudding, we'll try and help her out. We'll try and teach her in that. She's just still learning the game, man. She's still learning how to push the buttons and do all that stuff. So she'll get there, I hope. All right, so here we go. Skill check. Oops. No, there we go. We are able to see it. All right, cool. That one in the middle is freaking cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting closer. How are we doing? Where is it? A little lower. So we were, the 1080 was just too low, apparently, is what it was. Oh, wait. No, that doesn't make sense. All right, let's go to...
You see, I'd have argued the offset was in the upper left, except we know it's rotating around that.
Yeah, it's rotating around center point. I know,
and
exactly.
It's definitely a center point, so...
Yeah. But I did have the 0.25, which was making it really small. If I drop it back to the 0.25, let's go take a look at that. Yeah, it was pretty small. It was behind Assandra's nameplate, is what I think was happening on that. So, all right. So let's make it bigger. 0.5. Got the hue shift. I think that's about the right position. I guess we'll get rid of this one, even though it's so much fun to look at. Boom. 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 Okay, so now let's try playing the effect and setting the threshold at the same time. So we'll say Lady, Cutie, and Fred are going to roll a skill test. We're going to hit animal handling, and then the skill check button. Nothing's happening now when I hit the skill check button because I think I need to change some numbers first. So we'll do it one more time. I'm going to hit intimidation, hit the buttons, hit the thing. Now I see it there. Now I see it there.
It's good, and it's not particularly distracting from the main event.
I want to make it a little bigger. I do want to make it a little bigger. Maybe 0.65. Let's do that. The one on top, I think, maybe a little bigger too for the one on top. Just about 3. Let's try that. Refresh the current page. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, the one on top could still be even bigger. I'm going to say 5. I just realized it's not 0.5 of the total animation, it's 0.5 of our already scaled down version of it. That's why it was smaller than what I was expecting it to be. Okay, one more time. Refresh, punch in the numbers. Get that, hit the button. I just realized the Dungeon Master piece is up. I actually do want it up by the Dungeon Master.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. What were those numbers? Because I thought the Dungeon Master was that we weren't going to see that, but the Dungeon Master we see, these are the magic numbers I want for it. Yeah. So it's really only... It's really only the scale that we're really changing here, I think. Let's go back and try that. Okay, so let's punch in some numbers. We've got the people up. Let's get that. Hit the switcher button. Okay, so that's
okay.
Good. Did you have a comment?
The reason I didn't think it would be because I hadn't thought that the frame was going to stay during the full screen animation. But because it does stay up, and we have this same effect, that still does work.
Yeah, but it's on top of it instead. But it's not bad. It totally works, and it's just I just need to be able to see it, an indicator that it's happening. So
well, if you wanted it behind it, you could still do the render order, because isn't Zephyr on the top anyway?
No, Zephyr's a movie. Zephyr's a video layer on top. And we've got actually a couple layers. We've got the clouds behind, we've got his composite image in front, and then we got the animated piece in front of him. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'd have to create a new browser to stick it behind there. Is what I'd have to do.
So this is going to the front and the back for Zephyr's one?
When this animation occurs, it's going on the front layer, which shows up above. Yeah, it's in front of him, is what it is. Plot twist.
I'm saying, did you move it? Because previously it was on the back.
No, it's
rather
both.
than copying it. It's
is both. Yeah.
And now there could actually be there will be 4 swirls going in a combination of directions with 4 different colors maybe.
Let's try it.
Okay.
Yeah. No one needs to know Zephyr with an ER is better than Zephyr with a YR, but it's true. Zephyr with an ER is the puppet that Zephyr has. Yeah, I do actually. It's kind of cool a little bit there. If you look at it on the Zephyr up near the Dungeon Master edge, when that pops up, it is kind of cool. The only problem is the spin. We may get opposite directional spins there.
Yes.
Right? But there's a sense of depth around it, though, that when they are kind of going the same way, you can kind of see stuff in front and back. I think maybe I want to drop down the size again.
Anyway, because you've got the movement of the clouds, and it's a different direction inherently.
Yeah, I guess. But I'm like, wouldn't it be great if we could nail that? Get these in 2 different bits of code. Get the sync to always be the same. I just want to drop down. I want to drop down the size a little bit more and just take a look at it, see what it looks like. I'm also considering dropping down the opacity on the ones in front, playing with that as well. But I just want to see what it looks like here. I just want to make sure it's not too much. I think it's not too much. There's a save. There's an attack.
Have you got a different scale? Is the back one bigger?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's adding to it quite nicely as well, because you kind of got this inner piece at that stage.
Yeah. The one in the upper left is fine. I'm like really happy with that. I'm just thinking about the Dungeon Master. Do I want to move the Dungeon Master on top of the main layer? And I don't think I do, because then we can't put effects on top of Zephyr, which I kind of like to be able to do. I'm kind of feeling like this is done.
This is good.
Look at that one more time. I think this front one, I want to drop it down in size again. Let's get back down to 5. You can tell we're close to being done because I'm like, the time between changes is getting longer, and the thoughtfulness is getting a little more deep. Yeah, I like that. That I like better. That looks really nice, cool up there.
Like that.
Yeah, it looks almost like a rose a little bit. It looks very, very realistic, especially when we get that front and back directions to be the same. When they're in the opposite direction, it's not as good.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It kind of looks a little twisty. But I love it. I love it. And it's so good from the standpoint of, you know, nobody else knows what's going on. They're just seeing this thing, you know, from time to time that might happen. But I know that he said it. When that thing goes, he's hit skill check. And I know which one it is too, which is cool. So if I'm like, you know, waiting for a skill check and I see green instead, you know, or I'm waiting for a
Yep.
saving throw and I see red, you know, or something like that. I know he hasn't set the right one. And then I can I can talk to him or do some other kind of communication piece.
Yeah.
Okay, that one's good. I'm going to call that done.
Cool.
Let's see, what else is on my list? That is all done. So I'm just going to delete that. We're good there. I've got my notes from the show. And let's go take a look at that. What do I have here? That we've done. We did that earlier today. Need some UI when threshold set. We did that. Cool. So those two are both done. Skill checks for only one person should show skill settings on the player's scrolls. I totally agree with this. And that doesn't happen anymore, I think. Like if I come in, and I think it happens when we started the skill check from this UI, as I recall. So if I say I wanted to do a skill check for Merkin, I would click over here, come over here to the skill check, click on like investigation and roll it. And I think, nope, it's not changing it.
It's not happening now. But it would light up effectively, had a little bit of particle dust around it. I think everything else grayed a little bit.
Yeah, it used to do that. It used to highlight it. So if I did intimidation or nature, it used to highlight it. That is not happening anymore. That's probably been broken for a long time.
Was it related to you clicking the... There you go. I wasn't sure I remembered it happening when you would interact with the various drop-downs, but when you clicked and moved focus, I thought it did. Well, that's now moving, but not glowing.
You're right. That's not good at all. That means we got a nasty little state bug in there that's going to be hard to find. That's what... Yeah, look at that. It just disappeared.
That just died partway through, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm not into... I don't want to, go hunt down a bug like that. That's not how I want to spend my time. Let's see if we can get close. And ultimately, I want buttons to be able to do what I'm doing here with the clicking.
Yeah. You want to move this to a Stream Deck kind of a scenario, I guess.
I do. I totally do. What's interesting is we're doing more and more than the game. Almost all of the game is happening. Last night's game happened entirely with Stream Deck presses. This was just, don't even care. Nobody, I didn't need that, didn't touch it at all. That's really where I want to be. When you start looking at the UI from that perspective, it's like you realize, oh, none of this is needed. We just need like a few things in here to kind of set stuff up, enter data, that sort of thing. It's good for seeing data, but even that, you can get, there's some pretty effective substitutes for all of this, as we've seen what we built during the show.
Indeed.
All right, let's go figure this out. Let's go figure out, we'll just one step at a time. At the very least, we're going to go from here to here, figure out what happens when I'm clicking that, what's going on.
Okay.
It's not there. D&D app. Let's maybe throw ourselves over at designer. Because we're running, I can't click on it.
That feels good. Character sheet page changed. Well, I say that. That's only if you need to change pages. You might be clicking on something that's already on screen.
Let's see what happens. Page changed. Let's see what happens. See if we get a breakpoint when we click up here. We do. And we do. All right. Cool.
Okay.
So it's dealing with something called character sheets, which, Roy, we have not written anything for character sheets, I want to say, in over a year.
Oh, I would think very much. Yeah.
It's a user control. Let's just look at its code. How nasty is it? Gotta get a sense. I'm looking at the scroll bar as it comes down, the little thumb size over there.
The thing we have to remember is that the character sheets came along a long time
But okay, there we go. Looks like streaming is just now recovering. Wow.
That was, yeah.
Somebody like unplugged a bunch of cables, I think is what happened. Looks like we're back.
It took me a moment because you were in this very thoughtful David sort of style pose with your hand on your chin. I thought, he's thinking, I'll give him a moment. No, that's a long time now. He's not breathing. Those clouds have stopped moving.
Yeah. All right. So what you were talking about, we were talking about the last time we wrote this, it was different, very different from...
well, I was just going to say that if you want to put it in terms of sort of almost ages or eons or what have you, we did almost all the Google Sheets work since that. We did all of the IDE and codes and event stuff since that.
Yeah.
So the whole scripting thing is completely new since we last looked at this area.
You're right. Code. It's old. This code is like about as legacy as it gets for the most part on here. Some of the first big stuff that we did. I don't even remember how we changed pages. So, well, let's see if we can follow the event. Look at the event triggering on this. So we're creating these dynamically. Page changed. How do we trigger it? I'm assuming that I could tab to next reference, but I'm just going in circles. Oh, there it is, right there. Right?
Yeah.
Well, it's not quite that. It's a page changed event. So trigger here. There it is, on page changed. Okay. Cool. 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 All we have to do is just pass on, that at the very least is that. We just pass in on page change. We call on page change and say what we want it to do. So it would seem to me that if we created a new method called change page, like that, passing in the, hold on a second, let me just report this code issue here for a second. All right. You might want to roll it back, but let's see if I can duplicate it again. Method change page. I hit enter. Hold on. Right here, and it added a new line. What's going on with that, kids? I'm in a text field. Hit enter again. Now I finally move. Now I'm inside here. Hit enter. I'm okay. But that one's a mistake. I think I reported this already not too long ago. What's going on with that? Enter in text field. Sometimes, yeah, I reported this. Adds a new line. Let's prioritize that, guys. This should be fixed by now. That out there, report that. How's your day been, Roy?
It's not too bad. I'm looking forward to next week because the UK is currently in a state of basically lockdown like many other places. But next week there's a staged return of children to school. So although I'll still be working from home, my children will be elsewhere and getting, should we say, a bit more social contact with people.
Yeah.
Which is always good.
Okay, cool. Well, that's good. So that's happening next week?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've added this change page option right here. That's to the character sheets. Let's go back out to where we were hooking this event here. So this is where we build the player tabs up. Right in here. Well, maybe not. Let's see. Where are we putting these? We're putting them in the grid, the children of the grid. Character sheets, okay, we're throwing those in. I guess it's 1, 2, 3. And that's it. So we kind of have to, and there's a grid. What are we doing with the grid? Let's see if we're finding these anywhere. Get sheet for character. Okay, cool. So now we can now we can do something. We can get the sheet for the character, then change it. So now what we're looking for, so let me just throw this out here. I've got something, change page. We're going to do get sheet for character, change page. Let me just take all of that actually. I'll get it out from here and I'm going to throw it out in here. These are just reminders. Those are the things I'm going to need to work with. Next, we need to see when only one person is doing a skill check. Right, so it goes like this. The buttons that we press are here. Then we select who, like for example, lady. Then we hit this button for skill checks. Unfortunately, this button is just a folder. There's no side effect code that we can execute with it. I would love for that to be able to be an option inside Stream Deck. It would make things really easy for me, but they're not. I have to wait till one of these buttons is pressed.
Can you stop it from being a folder and then have it almost like cause your side effect and then second side effect, which is visit known folder in known location?
I don't think so.
No?
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to visit known location folder. Here's what I get. Switch profile, multi-action switch. What's that? Wait.